Dave, I hate to call him Dave. Sounds so familiar. He calls himself Dave Chappelle. I think the Council of Social Controllers would not have released constraints on me. They had so many distractions. They used hostage taking as a distraction to keep me from gathering my mind up for years at a time and getting through their mental blockade to keep me on my heels with my back to the wall. And finally, I guess, well, I was doing a lot of great intellectual work, and I think that's what broke through their blockade was my intellectual work during that time. So finally, I guess it was inevitable. I don't want to say give them the credit of saying that they lifted the constraints that they had on me, but I think they were motivated to do that by the forceful progress of my intellectual work. So finally, I have the ability to handle my publicity and talk about things in a candid way because I'm not being distracted by cyber terrorist hostage takers all the time. So that's how they occupied several years of my time, was cyber terrorist hostage takers. And they were also taking my reputation hostage, but they were suggesting the hostage takers. It was like the people from the faction that you hate are going to get the girls that you love if you don't convince us that if you don't answer our interrogation. So it went on for years and years, terrorists, hostage takers. All right, so now I could say the things that I really want to say. And one of those things is, well, I'm irritated by Conan O'Brien, but his comedy sketch was maybe more like a question, like, how are you going to respond to this? What's your response to this? It's like a question. And I don't know where this question is coming from, and I don't like it. But I did something weird with a female dog, more than one. So, I can endure a question. Of course, I would have probably preferred to be informed a long time ago, so that I could start doing my publicity response 20 years ago or 25 years ago. I would still be a liberal, probably. I don't know if I don't want to use the word liberal. Let's just say I would be a conventional American who believes what Americans believe. So anyway, it's irritating, Conan O'Brien, it's irritating. But I was laughing because I was amused, and I was not anxious because I thought, well, why should I be anxious? It was a female dog, so it doesn't hit the joke doesn't it doesn't what is the word? Trigger me. The joke didn't trigger me. Of course, you don't like to worry about being misunderstood, but I wasn't triggered by that joke. Maybe I should have been, but I wasn't. And then I was slightly put off. I thought, why does Dave Chappelle say, "I'm rich, bitch," when he could have said, "I'm rich, bitches"? He didn't say bitches. He said bitch. That's not right. Something's wrong with that. But I don't assume people on television are talking to me, and I was not very triggered by that. Many years later, after many years of African American men attacking me, I was like, that little bitch. I'd like to cut that son of a bitch. I cut that head right off his neck with an honorable lethal duel. I've got a bad ankle, so I don't want to say swords, but I would a contest, an honorable lethal contest where somehow he's forced to ride a motorcycle. Okay, maybe we're both riding motorcycles with Uzis or something. Okay, and you're and you got to ride around an obstacle course, and then there's a wire that could cut your head off or something like that. And then Dave Chappelle hopefully panics and loses his head to a wire while he's trying to get away from me, and I'm running after him on the motorcycle with the Uzi. Okay, that's a good idea for a duel, but I'm not sure if I'm ready for a motorcycle. I don't have a motorcycle yet. I haven't had any practice on a motorcycle, so it would be amusing to think about. That I guess that movie Running Man was supposed to scare the piss out of everyone. It was kind of scary. The idea of a game where the stakes are your life and death, and well, that's actually what we need to stop people from running their mouths when they don't know what they're talking about. And that's what Samuel needs, is to be put, to be ostracized from society, and to let him know, you can run out of time, Samuel, having no social inclusion. That's what they were threatening me with, and that's what the last 15 years were like, because I was writing instead of talking, but my writing was so excellent. Finally, they stopped distracting me enough, and they reminded me directly enough, and irritated me provocatively enough that I started to calm myself down again. So anyway, I don't want to go on in this video, but let's just say men need to have the threat of death to persuade them not to be to behave like an upstart, to think that they're equal to the best. And I'm the best at something, at least. At something. I'm not the best at everything, and my jaw is too small, and I've got a beard concealing my too small jaw. And other features are not great, but my brain is the best, and my cognitive performance is unrivaled. So I'm the best at something, at least. And those who are not the best at anything, someone thought they could have been a great sport fighter, but they never were. Someone thought they could have been a great comedian, but they never were. They're not the best at anything. And so they need to think about when they're trying to challenge someone who's the best at something. They're not the best at anything. So they need to pay the price for behaving as an upstart, and they need to get what they deserve. They need to get a lot of punishment going up their keisters, up their, I don't know if that's the right word, the keister, I don't know, up their behind. And up to and including, you know what it takes to cause someone what do you call it, an embolism while they're trying to shit? It's not just a cyber attack. It takes years of destroying their health to make that possible. They're like, we struck him with a cyber attack that caused him an embolism in his gut when he's trying to take a shit in his rectum. We caused him an embolism. That's not something that can be done unless someone is already in poor health. And so I was so healthy when they started to turn against me. I was very strong, and my heels would hit the pavement like hammers, and it was like my feet were so strong, and my legs were I was getting faster and faster, jumping higher and higher. And they destroyed my ankle. one of their henchmen, destroyed my ankle. It was a council decision. So then I had to walk on a bad ankle and I couldn't run anymore. And so 20 years later, my health was very bad. And I'm obese, I'm overweight. Obese is a weird word. I want to skip that word. I was overweight with too much fat and not enough strength because of that damned ankle injury inflicted by that henchman. So that ankle injury brought down my health, and then they fatigued me in New York. So you know what it takes for them to get you into bad enough health that they can cause you to have an embolism while you're constipated trying to crap. That's years and years, 20 years of destroying my health brought them to the point they could achieve that. 20 years of being gradually tortured. And you could call it a mild form of torture, but 20 years of it destroying my health. And then people compared it to that scene in RoboCop where a bad guy goes crashing his vehicle into a vat of toxic chemicals, and the chemicals spill onto him, and he starts melting. And that's what they said. Look at what happened to Paul 25 years or 20. It was 30 years ago. That ankle injury, I think. It was 30 years ago. And the embolism, which was planned by doctors, hostile doctors, that was 14 years ago. And they had to let me cause my health to degrade for 20 years after the ankle injury. That's what the kind of people they are. They'll take out your ankle and they say, just like a Komodo dragon bites an animal and says, just let him wander around the island. It's a Komodo dragon on a small island, and so the prey can't get away, and the Komodo dragon just waits. Once he's bitten the prey on the leg, they're going to get infected with this terrible bacteria, and they're going to die. And then the Komodo dragon's going to feast when they get too weak to move. And I've seen it, a Komodo dragon eating the guts out of a hog that was dying, and it wasn't even dead yet, but it was too weak to get away. And so that's the kind of people we're dealing with. The ones who took out my ankle waited 20 years for the next attack. The next attack on my health, they waited 20 years to do that. 20 years of waiting for my strength to ebb away after destroying my ankle. So that's the kind of evil that I'm up against, is people that would rather cause me a life-changing injury rather than talk to me. And so that's why I keep saying we got to do away with scoundrels. We got to put them into the chains of slavery. These scoundrels have got to go into the chains of slavery, and they should be whipped and tortured and destroyed gradually with deprival and forced labor. That's what they should get. And that's what they should be the lesson. Don't talk about someone else when you don't know what you're talking about. Ask them. Ask them first before you go on a 20-year whisper campaign. Or else you deserve a noose around your neck to break the vertebrae in your neck. All right, that's all for this video.